Reality Redemption. Another episode. This is going to be our holiday episode.
Happy holidays.
I'm
Tis the
MJ.
season.
And appropriate, we have Snow, short for Snowflake.
It's my time of year.
Yeah. Are you all ready for the holidays?
I am ready for them to be over. I know I sound like a total bah humbug, but where I work, Christmas is not the fun time of year. So, yeah.
Yeah, it must be.
But I'm ready for New Year's because actually, and I actually like Christmas because that actually means it's over, you know, and I get to see my family.
So you're going down to Phoenix?
I am. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Because Christmas is on a Friday this year, so it's like an extra long weekend.
I'm having extra long weekends every week lately.
I know.
Hey, I did have an interview yesterday that could be promising.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you say where or no? Or
I don't want to say where.
Okay.
It's a warehouse job.
Oh, cool.
And they might help me get a CDL.
Oh, that'd be sweet. You can be a trucker.
Yeah, hit the road. We're joined by Heather. How you doing, Heather?
Hi, Heather.
Hi, everybody. Snow, MJ.
Hey,
Good to be here.
We've talked about you, but we haven't talked to you on this before.
Everybody talks about me.
Oh, yeah?
I'm very talkable.
Are you ready for the holiday?
Getting there. Still have some shopping to do, cooking to plan, that sort of stuff. But I did put up my first Christmas tree this year since I moved to Arizona.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is the
pretty
first time
exciting.
you've done it?
Yeah, it's the first time I'm going to be here in Kingman for Christmas, so I decided to go ahead and decorate this year.
Okay,
Yeah.
so is your family coming to visit you for the holidays?
Yes, first time.
Oh.
Yay! Normally I go down to their house, so this time
Yeah.
they're coming up here. Well, my mom's coming up, and so we're gonna do the whole Polish Christmas Eve.
I love your mom.
My mom's awesome.
Susan, that
Hi,
bitch.
Susan.
It's like a term of endearment, okay?
Oh yeah, my mom's got the mouth of a trucker, so if MJ gets his CDL, she can teach him how to talk.
Hey, how does your Christmas tree survive with all the cats?
Oh dear.
Oh.
So that's a great question. So I adopted a new kitten. He's about 5-6 months old, so he's pretty. I'm wondering if he's feral, for crying out loud. But my Christmas decorations start about 2 foot up the tree and just go to the top because he's climbing into the tree. And
Yeah.
so he's about as destructive as his namesake, and his name is Oppenheimer.
Yeah, they like to wrap themselves around the tree. I think they get like their jungle instincts because they're cats. And then they're like, I want to be like hidden.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. But then, like, you don't think it's funny when you come home to a tipped over Christmas tree and smashed bowls.
Luckily, that hasn't happened yet. But every time, if I go to sleep, if I, leave the house for just going to get the mail or something like that, the last thing I say to them is, that tree better still be standing when I get back.
Do you feel like you're turning into a crazy cat lady? You have 3.
So I am definitely a crazy cat lady. In my personal belief, I believe the single women to cat ratio ideally is 1 to 2. And so now that I've hit 1 to 3, I've definitely entered into crazy cat lady territory.
Do you feel like a lot of cat women that are like, they're like Lays, you can't have just one?
I would agree. Now, when I lived back east, I only had just one because I had a 1-bedroom apartment. It was pretty small. Didn't really have space for more. Now I have a bigger apartment, so I adopted a second cat when I moved here, Miss Hetty. Schrodinger moved cross-country with me. We adopted Hetty, and now we adopted Oppenheimer from a family friend down in Huachuca City area.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, they have a good home.
They do, and I think it's pandemic boredom. I needed more social interaction.
Yeah, this year's been rough.
Yeah.
I mean, because we used to always hang out all the time, and now we see each other every few months, except Stone and I, because we do this. But other than that, we don't get out much. How come you don't have a cat?
Because of the hours I work. Like, I used to have dogs, and I'm more of a dog person than a cat person. I like cats because I kind of like their fuck off personality type. Like, they tend to hate their owners. They're like, just get out. I'm waiting for you to leave, you know? And they're kind of like self-sufficient. They're not needy at all, which is great about cats. But I'm like, you know, one of my dogs had really bad separation anxiety any time when I leave for work, you know, and he would just freak out. So I'm like, once I retire, I'll get pets again. I just don't think it's fair to them, like for the hours I work. If I had a normal schedule, yeah.
I think I'll be dealing with separation anxiety for at least one of my cats when I eventually get back to my office. I've been working from home for 9 months now.
Oh, yeah, then they're gonna probably freak.
Yeah.
But you're probably going back no time soon, right?
I don't even know. Originally, we were talking January. I think it's going to be more like March at this point, but I don't know. It could change.
Will they wait for the vaccines to come out and then decide to send you guys back?
I don't know. All I know is they kind of had planned for early January, but seem to have softened on that date and haven't committed to a new date. So we'll see how it goes. At this point, I very much want to get back to the office because I just really want to be around people again. At the same time, I love the commute. I love the commute working at my dining table.
Saving so much in gas.
Oh, I hate buying gas with a passion.
Really?
I hate it. I don't know why. I don't mind making a car payment. I don't mind paying for maintenance. I don't like paying for maintenance when they call me honey at the garage or sweetheart or crap like that. But I hate buying gas. And
You gotta use sugar balls. Throw it right back at them. Thanks, sugar balls.
I think they'd probably appreciate it. They'd probably like it.
You know,
Who knows? They probably do.
That kind of fits into the theme of this podcast.
We have a dude here. Hey, MJ, would you like to be called sugar balls? Or would you get like a little embarrassed?
I get called hun, not by guys.
Well, right, but
when
what
a
if
woman,
somebody said sugar balls? Would that give you some kind of hint that maybe the women didn't like being called honey or sweetie or whatever?
Yeah. I think I'd be offended if somebody called me sugar balls.
Yeah, because when a woman gets called hun or sweetie or sweetheart by essentially a stranger, it's definitely a gender thing. It's definitely different than,
Or they call you kiddo.
Ugh.
What about that one?
Luckily, I have enough gray hair that they don't call me kiddo.
Like,
Do you get the one, maybe you should smile more? You ever get that?
oh, yeah.
I actually haven't gotten that.
I've gotten it a couple times.
My boxing instructor used to tell me that I have an aura of get the fuck away from me. And so I don't get that a lot.
Do you ever get hit on out and about?
No, I don't actually.
I know. What happened those days, when you used to get hit on?
I think it's because everything's moved online. I don't think maybe that's it. They're like, this isn't.
Yeah.
I think phones ruin people too with the whole. They're convenient as hell. Don't get me wrong, but they also ruin normal socialization.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. Now everything's swipe right, swipe left, and that's how.
I'm not even on any dating apps anymore.
I
haven't been in a long time.
I am, but am not. So I just updated I was going to share this with everyone. I just updated my profile to say, this profile is under construction. I decided I'm going to work on myself for a while. I'm in pretty amazing shape, but I'd like to be even better and don't want any distractions right now. I also don't want to delete my profile because then I'd have to go through all the dudes I've already swiped left on. I'll be back after I get the vaccine. I decided to do it because of that, because of our numbers are getting so bad, and I'm like, and probably because our friend died, you know, I'm trying to be even safer, and I just want to, like, because I keep saying, we have no control over all these people that we feel are idiots, the anti-maskers, which they are, by the way. If you're listening, you are an idiot. We have no control over them, but the only thing that we can do is to keep ourselves away from them, you know, and we can be like, then I'm going to totally take care of myself, and I'm just not going to be able to be around you, you know?
No, exactly. After hearing about Mark's death, I've left the house even less times than I would have anyway. You know, grocery shopping. I very much enjoy grocery shopping. I'm not willing to let someone else pick my groceries for me.
Oh God, I hate grocery shopping.
I do.
I had a phobia of grocery stores way before this pandemic.
I love the grocery pickup. I'm even using. I don't do anything except for go to work and come here to do podcasts.
Yeah. No, I've seen you in the grocery store, MJ. It's bad. You really don't like it.
Yeah.
I hate it too.
Yeah.
No, when I was growing up, my dad was out of work on disability at retirement age anyway, you know, and my mom was going to school and so full time, and so she was out of work, and you know, so we just didn't really have a lot of money at that point growing up, and we would lived in a really rural town. Like Kingman's got nothing on how rural the town was where I grew up. And we would go to the grocery store because it was now open late, and they had the international food section and the video section and the florist, and like it was a new concept to me at that point in my life. And so we would go and just browse, and we would just have fun, and we'd look at all these foods in the international food section that we had never heard of, and it was a great time with Mom. So I love grocery shopping.
And
love it.
And honestly, that's like learning right there too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're still learning out and about, even simple stuff in a grocery store.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Right, so while your profile was active, were you getting any weirdos on there?
Yes, I was. I think the thing that irritates me the most, and listen up close, fellas, is when you see the guys who all put in their profiles, if you're a hooker, swipe left, blah, blah, blah. There's so many hookers on here, and I'm not paying for it, blah, blah, blah. So then those guys are the ones that it seems to me like they want to ask for your number right away, right? And I have no problem giving my number and then doing the texting, because I'm like, hello, you can always block a number later.
Mm-hmm.
You can block people, you can delete them, whatever you have to do. So right away, these are the same guys, though, that get right into talking. Why are they treating the girls, the non-hooker girls, why are you treating us like that then? Why do you go straight to, send me a picture of your hot, sexy tits? Oh, and he put tots. He even did a misspell. Send me a pic of those hot, sexy tots. And I'm like, dude, what? I don't understand this mentality. And then I'm like sitting there, so I'm an overanalyzer, in case anybody didn't know. I'm like, no wonder some of the girls on here go on here to purposely try to make money off of this. I'm like, first off, like, yeah, dude, it's kind of like, if you are going to talk to me like this, I kind of do want some payment for it. You know, if you're going to sit there and talk to me and want to do nothing but sexting here, and you don't want to get to know me as a person, like, I just don't understand it.
Well, and to send them a picture of your hot, sexy tots, you got to go to the grocery store, buy the tots. Then it's another 20 minutes to bake them. Right. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
See, that's what you should have done. You know?
I know.
Maybe you should just, preemptively buy some tater tots.
Have them on hand.
Yeah.
No, just Google the picture of them and, save the picture on it. And then...
They're all steamy. Get the picture right when it comes out of the oven. Steam. Hot and sexy.
Do you get any unsolicited pics?
I've only got that one that we talked about last time. where I was like, and I'll say it again, like, yeah, not a bad dick. Too bad it's attached to that guy with that personality, boy. But yeah, your dick's not really the problem, sir. It's you.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See how fun you're missing, Heather?
By not being on dating apps.
And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of nice guys on there too. I mean, there are, but and like normal, respectful guys too. It's just these are the ones that really stick out. Like another one, like where the guys are all talking about, I'm not into the hookers, blah blah blah, and then all their pics are like of all the shit they have. Here's my boat. Here's this. I'm like, but you're trying to entice women in with the money. I'm like,
Oh my-
how fucking stupid are you? You're asking to get taken advantage of. Oh God. So
Oh,
it's
God.
my 2 cents for a
Dating,
while.
dating.
We won't have this to talk about for a while until I get that vaccine.
Yeah. But we're not going to get that till like April or so.
Yeah, like my sister got shot number 1 yesterday,
Oh, wow.
but she's an RN, so
Okay.
so I was listening to a radio show that I listened to, and they were talking about this real conservative community, probably a lot like Kingman in Texas, and a lot of the nurses were refusing their vaccines because they listen to right-wing hate radio, and they tell them, oh, you don't want it, blah, blah, blah. I think even Tucker Carlson's saying stuff about how the vaccine
He's an idiot.
will cause, and they're really steering these people wrong, but, like, so all of them aren't. I'm like, can I have their place in line? Because, I keep hearing more and more about all the studies that are coming out of all the side effects from the long-term effects that people are having. And the disease hasn't even been around long enough for us to even really know all of that too. And if these things are in fact long-term effects that are going to last forever or what. But I'm like at first I was like on the fence about the vaccine. Not that I wouldn't get it, but I'm like, I want to wait longer, blah, blah, blah. Good thing I'm not like considered super important, so I have time to wait. But every time they talk about all these studies, I'm like, no, I'll go ahead and take it now. I'd rather take my chances with the vaccine than any one of those side effects.
Yeah, I give it up to the folks who are signing up to be in the studies.
Right?
Like those are some brave people.
Though
Yeah.
they're really brave.
Yeah.
They should have. Not that I don't love Biden and Harris, but maybe they should have won Times Person of the Year. I was sad that Dr. Fauci and the healthcare workers didn't get it because I was.
Yeah, the frontline workers should have gotten people
I
of the
know.
year.
That's who I voted for. It was a combination. It was Dr. Fauci and the frontline workers, a combination of the two, and I was like, they really should have got it.
But speaking of Kamala Harris, we got what about a month from today, new administration takes over.
Finally,
Yes.
a woman
First
VP.
VP.
I'm so excited for her. Like, I loved. There will be several times when I'm like having a Kamala moment, and I always think of like when she's questioning Bill Barr, and she's like, "Sir, answer the question. Answer the question, please, sir." I just love that. I just love it.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's just like no bullshit, and she doesn't get all pissed. She's just like, look, just answer. That's all I'm here for.
Right. And what's coming true is why I was, I wasn't for Biden at first, but I knew he would have a good cabinet on it. And some of the positions that he's filling, Janet Yellen for Treasury Secretary,
Nice.
Deb Haaland for Interior Secretary. She was from Winslow, Arizona. She's now a New Mexico
Yeah,
congresswoman.
they talked about her. So she's going to be able to battle like the nasty Koch brothers that try to go in and they want to mine in the Grand Canyon for uranium. So we have somebody.
Right, and she's Native American.
Yes.
Which tribe was she from?
Is it Hopi? I don't want to get it wrong.
I'm not sure.
but
I don't know.
I can't.
100%. So that's
Yeah.
what we do. We talk about these things, but we don't really research them all the way through.
Oh God, we're great for that.
Yeah.
I thought I heard it was Hopi, but I'm not positive.
Let's see. We have Jennifer Granholm, Department of Energy, and Marcia Fudge, Housing and Urban Development.
That's one that that's the one that they were a little upset that she wasn't the agriculture, right? Or the farmers were upset that she didn't get picked for.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
They wanted her to be that instead, because I guess she has a history of helping the farmers and knowing, especially black farmers.
What position was Bernie up for?
Well,
Possibly.
he was trying to bid for Secretary of Labor, which I was like, oh my God, yes.
That'd be pretty cool.
I know, because he is always mentioned in our Teamsters magazine. He's in there every single edition. They put in there about how Bernie Sanders and House Representative Marcy, I'm having a brain fart on her last name, but she's from Ohio. Those two have been working for years on the Protect Our Pensions. For years. They've always been in there. Even before the 2016 election, they're always.
You know, Snow, now that this podcast is heard in 19 countries, you think we'd be able to have an intern that could prepare this stuff for us.
I know.
You know, we have all the research done.
We're accepting applications.
Yeah, just go see us on the
that.
social media pages, Reality
Okay.
Redemption.
It doesn't pay much.
Oh, no,
It's
it's
an
not paying
unpaid
much at all.
internship.
Yeah, this is an unpaid podcast.
We can pay you in beverages, though.
we always give shout outs to our friend Peter, you know, for his barbecue sauce, Bootsy's
Delta Funk.
Delta Funk, and yeah,
You said his name wrong. It's PETA.
Peta Grumbles.
PETA Grumbles.
I was going to prepare some of more of his wings today, but I didn't thaw out the chicken wings in time.
Thanks a lot.
So sorry, Peter. Well, maybe
Thanks.
next time.
Thanks, MJ. Really dropped the ball on that one.
Well, I do have a bottle of his barbecue sauce at home and some ribs in the freezer for next week when my mom's here.
What kind did you get? What kind of sauce?
Oh, I don't remember.
I've been wanting to try
It's like the
one of the
sweet
fruity
corn or
ones.
something.
Sweet and.
I haven't tried it yet.
See, that's why we're bad here.
I know.
I got a bottle of it in the fridge. I could go look.
I have the white sauce,
Ooh, that one looks
and that
good.
one is good. It's good on fish. He told me, well, you don't even like salmon?
I
I'm sure
don't
you
like
can
cooked
use it.
fish. I'll eat fish raw, but not cooked.
Well, maybe get some sushi and dip it in that.
Yeah, but I mean, you like lobster. You don't like fish.
Lobster is seafood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but
it's
fish
like
is
the
seafood.
cockroach
No.
of the sea anyway, so
Oh,
there
but
you
it's
go.
so good.
I know it's no, I eat it too, but yeah, they are. They're the bottom.
Yeah, there's a difference between shellfish, crustaceans, and fish.
I like it all. I eat everything though. There's like nothing I don't.
And you come from the East Coast,
I know.
and you don't like fish.
What can I say? I eat sushi.
No,
What did you
but
do
her-
all those years in Boston?
But wait a second.
I
her,
eat sushi and lobster and scallops
her
and
coming
crab.
from the East Coast. Yeah, I was gonna say, aren't they more of like when they do like those fishermen though? Aren't they more of like lobster and crab? Isn't that what's bigger over there? I don't know because I've never
It
been.
just depends on where you're at.
Oh, okay.
I
I didn't know if it was like all fish or just basically like. I mean, that's what they pride
Yeah,
themselves on.
It's everything.
So it's both. I mean, if you're up in Maine, you're really talking, lobster.
Uh-huh.
But if you are, say, down the D.C., Maryland area, which I live there too, then it's crab.
Oh yeah, the crab cakes from
Okay.
Chesapeake Bay.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
Oh, so good.
Yeah,
Well,
crab
hopefully
bisque.
we can go to Boston in 2022.
Hopefully, I can go to Boston like any day now.
I know, Heather.
For the drop
We always
kicks.
talk about when the COVID hit was the same weekend we were supposed to go to Boston, and you were supposed to be there that weekend too.
Yeah, well, actually, no. My boyfriend was supposed to come here this year in the spring and wasn't able to because of COVID. And so we haven't seen each other.
For a year.
It will be a year in January.
So,
Yeah.
how stressful has that been, or has it been? Do you guys just do a lot of phone sex then?
Well,
I'm nosy.
See, all right. So
You don't have to go into detail, you know.
You're on mic, so you have to say.
You
so
must answer.
there is some, sexting and some images being, sent back and forth. We do keep our Zooms clean.
Oh, okay.
I know, weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even. You don't even put the tits out there.
No.
You're like, hi.
No.
Okay.
We did have like one really cool Zoom call where we did screen shares and whatnot and pulled up Google Maps and put it on like the images so we could literally see the houses that each other grew up in. Like, that was a lot of fun, because we wouldn't normally do that.
I thought you were gonna go somewhere else with that.
Oh, so did
Oh
I.
thought you were
no!
gonna say-
yeah,
I was trying to
good.
keep it clean.
I thought you were gonna say
Okay.
we pulled up the images to be like, we're gonna fuck there when this is the first place we're
Ooh.
fucking when all this is over.
That's a good idea.
See, I'm here to help. But
Wow. Okay. I don't know. I'm a little too old for sex in the car at this point in my life. But yeah, toss a blanket in the back, get out of the car, and go to town.
oh, sorry.
Where do we go from here?
Sorry about
We
that.
can keep on going down though. One thing that I did. This is from a 1950s high school economics textbook. To show how far we've come in the last 70 years. What year was it that women could finally apply for a credit card on their own? It was really
The
recently.
70s.
It was
70s.
Like
I was already
72,
alive.
I think.
I thought it was like 73 or 74. Either way,
I
it was
wanna say
early.
somewhere in
It was in the
there.
early 70s.
And wasn't that because of RBG?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that like women before were not allowed to have a credit card unless their husbands got one for them.
Bank accounts either.
Yeah. Which explains why we still have some of those archaic dinosaur dudes left. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, because it was in Lifetime, and it's the same way with women here who protest during the Women's March, and they're against that. You think they would be for what we stand for when it comes to women's rights, but no, a lot of the women here are
Well,
very
they're
archaic.
living in their bubbles and they think they're equal and they're not. When you think about it, for the most part, a lot of women don't realize that they're not equal until you get up into higher pay scales. And that's where you see a lot of the pay inequality. Because, if you're working down the street at Safeway in a minimum wage job, everyone's making minimum wage. Or it's easier to show, Bill's been here for however long and gotten X number of raises and therefore, based on time served kind of thing. And so is brand new, so they're still at minimum wage.
And also, women, if you want workplace pay equality too, like I'm really hoping that more of this starts popping up under the new administration too, and let's bring back unions. Because I work a union job, I get paid just as much as any of the other men that I work with. And I'll tell you this, like the guys at my work who are good, I'm just as good as them. And I'm better than some of them who, they're men and they work there. And I'm not saying that to be cocky or anything. I'm saying that with confidence, but I'm at least glad. I don't have this whole thing either where I'm like, well, since I'm better than some of these people, I should get paid more than them. I'm not there to worry about them. I'm there to worry about, though, that we're all equal, that we all get paid. They could be just as good as me or any of the other guys who are good at our job, but, hopefully that you want people to appreciate things. And this is a small group of them I'm talking about, but, you're always going to have that small group of people who are kind of lazy and whatnot. You're always going to have that anywhere.
Yeah.
In anything,
Yeah. It's funny. I used to be, I'm talking like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I was anti-union, and it was just literally because, what I was thinking of was like, yeah, we needed unions so that you didn't have, anybody, let alone, women or men or children, working, 15 hours a day with 0 days off and getting locked in rooms and then having the building go on fire. I was thinking that. Mm. And, it wasn't until, and this is back in Boston, I met a man who worked in labor organization. And at the time, he was working with a group that was working to improve the conditions of primarily women, but men too, working in hotels. And he was talking about how the contracts under which they were working, and it was primarily like housekeeping and facilities type work, and they were just subcontracted down so that the people doing the work were actually getting less than minimum wage and were still working insane hours, mm-hmm. and no paid time off, no sick leave, no nothing. And that's inhumane. I mean, granted, our idea of inhumane now is probably different than it used to be because, it's not like they're, literally chained and locked in or anything. They can walk away. But can you really? If you're essentially slaving away for next to no pay.
And here's another point on that and good on you for learning, more about it. Hey, I've been in the union for 24 years. I had to teach myself a lot of the importance of unions. It's not like, the information is readily available, which sucks because there's other countries where it is and they are very pro-union, they would never give that up because they know that it's something that benefits them. Here's something though for folks who don't like unions at all. Let me say, they just came out with the list recently of employers who use tax dollars to go to help their employees because they're not willing to pay their employees enough or give their employees benefits. On the list, as always, is Walmart. Amazon is on that list. FedEx is on that list. Now, let me tell you, the counter people of these employers, guess who is not on the list? Costco is not on the list. You know why? Because a lot of their positions are union. I'm not sure if the entire workforce there is union, but they do have a good CEO that pays good wages. For the counterpart of FedEx, UPS, they are not on the list, nor will they ever be on the list because they pay their employees good and they are union. So there's that. I mean, people don't realize it's like they're so against unions, but it's like, yeah, but unions make it so too, where you don't have these freeloading corporations sending their employees to go get the slack picked up through government programs that we, the taxpayers, are paying for.
What kills me is, and this, whether it's a union or non-union job, the folks who argue against raising minimum wage or raising wages at any particular business because, well, then, the business isn't going to be making enough money and they'll just shut down. Well, the stockholders and the CEOs, like, maybe they shouldn't be making so much profits. Mm-hmm. You're arguing the wrong argument there.
Yeah, and that's not true. Like, the people will sit there and say, yeah, but then the prices will go up. That's not true. They don't have to. They only will go up if the corporation is greedy and make the prices go up, because the corporation already knows that the people can only afford so much anyways.
And the corporation can more than afford to essentially lower their profit margins.
Right.
You know, that CEO, those stockholders, you know, essentially what you've got now is the ultra rich. They're hoarding their wealth by putting it into things. You can't take those things with you. Like, I'm sorry, if you've got 3 yachts, maybe you can afford to make a little less money.
Yeah. And also the point you made about the shareholders, I always like to use this one too on that. Okay, everyone knows that most of the automakers are unionized, UAW. All right, woohoo, love that union too. If people realized, okay, whenever they close down plants here, I've said this for years because I'm like, this just is something that doesn't make sense to me. Even in my 20s, I used to say this. I'm like, so they close down a plant, they move all the work to Mexico, you know, to manufacture the parts, where those employees make 42 cents an hour. Why in the fuck is the car still the same price? Why is it, and people, other Americans will sit there and trash their fellow Americans, hardworking Americans. Oh, it's these lazy fucking union people. No, it's not. You're not even benefiting from that. You'd still have to pay the same, or they raise prices on the cars. How are you even benefiting? The only person who's benefiting, like you said, are the shareholders.
Yep.
That's what's going on. The company wants to impress the shareholders.
Yep. So it's the companies are essentially managing to the quarter instead of the long-term health of the business. And they're doing that because of the shareholders. There's a long-standing philosophy of a business is there to make money.
Right.
And I don't necessarily subscribe to that philosophy.
And the current administration has always used that. He's always used the strength of the economy has been the stock market, but the stock market doesn't reflect.
I don't know about any of you, but I don't
economy.
have anything to speak of in the stock market.
And really, like, a lot of this started, I mean, it's not even just the current president's fault. I mean, it's like this started under Reagan. I mean, it really did. He really attacked labor. He did. He fucking drew the line in the sand. He went from being the president of SAG to disbanding the air traffic controllers, basically taking all their power away. And it's like, don't even get me started on Reagan, because there's so much that he did that is just like, we're really paying for it now.
I think Reagan started out as a Democrat too. I think I heard that in a podcast recently.
He may have. He did a lot of fucked up shit in the state of California too, just as the governor.
Mm-hmm.
No, so all this is not too long ago, Reagan. But before that, this before women in the workplace, some of these things that was taught in school. Have dinner ready when your husband gets home. Most men are hungry when they come home, and the prospect of a good meal is part of the warm welcome needed. Okay, it gets better. The next one, prepare yourself. Take 15 minutes to rest so that you feel refreshed when he gets home. Touch up your makeup, put a ribbon in your hair and look fresh looking. He's been with a lot of work-weary people. Be a little gay and a little more interesting. His boring day may need a lift.
I think I'm going to vomit.
Like, all I'm thinking about is the movie The Stepford Wives, and doesn't she start, like, fizzling out like her robot self or whatever? Like,
if only that was all I had to worry about in my life, was looking pretty for my husband.
Yeah. I should do this like in like the 50s movie voice when they did like before the movies, they did the news. Clear away the clutter. Make one last trip to the main part of the house. Gather up the books, the toys, and newspapers. Dust the tables so they appear clean. Your husband will feel like he has reached his haven of rest and order. Doing this for him will give you a lift also.
how?
Yeah, not really.
Or you mean like the lift in his pants? Is that is that what they meant? Like, I don't.
Because at that point, like, I'm not going to feel like attending to the lift in his pants. Because I'm going to be freaking exhausted.
I'd be like, I'm going to go have a glass of wine and take a bubble bath. That's what I'm starting to realize. I understand the Calgon commercials even more now after this.
Calgon, take me away.
This is probably why Lucy and Ricky had separate beds. It's because of this kind of crap. Lucy took no shit. Let's see. Prepare the children. Take a few minutes to wash their faces and hands, comb their hair, and change their clothes if necessary, to make them look presentable to him. They are God's creatures, and your husband would love to see. And your husband would love to see them playing their part. Wow. Minimize all noise. At the time of his arrival, eliminate all noises of the washer, dryer, dishwasher, and vacuum. You've had plenty of time to do these things during the day. Don't do them now.
And the king has arrived.
Encourage your children to be quiet.
I'm horrified.
Be happy to see your husband. Greet him with a warm smile.
Oh my God.
No. I don't have energy left to smile after doing all that all day.
Did they have crazy cat ladies in the 50s? That's probably what started all this.
I believe they were called spinsters. I don't think you were allowed to be a single adult woman in the 50s unless you were a spinster or a lesbian.
Yeah, it was probably really frowned upon.
And even then, they probably just wanted to marry you off anyway, regardless.
Okay, here's one. Do not greet your husband with problems or complaints. Don't complain when he is late for dinner. Count this as minor when compared to what he had to go through during the day.
Even if he's out fucking some other broad, you put a smile on, gal. Like,
Wow.
what the hell?
Well,
Those are insane.
and by that logic, you're supposed to be psychic about when he's going to be home, because isn't his dinner supposed to be hot and ready? Well, if he's late and his dinner's cold, it's his fucking fault.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Apparently, you need to fucking work your magic and have it on the table ready.
Yeah.
For
Bibbidi
whenever
bobbidi
he
boo.
chooses.
And this is before
To
cell
get
phones,
there.
so you didn't know when he was coming home. You didn't have a microwave oven to reheat it.
Well, I don't think you really had traffic back in the 50s either, so it's not like, you could actually predict, so he could call. He could fucking call.
But yeah, what if you were, I'm assuming that they would be on a schedule though. They're
Yeah.
like, okay, this is normally when he gets off. So they're preparing the meal. But yeah, like MJ said, no microwave to heat it up quickly. What are you doing? Like, then you got to go put it back in the oven for another 20 minutes?
And then it's
you're supposed to
overdone.
know all this?
And it's going to dry
Fuck
out and be
this.
disgusting.
I am so glad that I was not a housewife in the 50s.
So glad I'm not a housewife
And
now.
I feel bad for all of you that were. My God.
I know.
Awful.
I mean, I guess the three of us have nothing to say about marriage because none of us have been married.
We literally have no experience.
Yeah.
Department.
Can you imagine? Maybe this still goes on now. I don't know.
You know what I'll tell you though? Reading this, I should just always keep a printout of this. Makes me not want to ever get married. Still, it's stuff like that. Like, what if you ended up with a guy that had these beliefs?
Hopefully you would know that before you agreed to marry
Well,
him.
yeah, but
I think I probably know some guys who have these beliefs to this day.
I think I do too. Like, it's,
Well, I wouldn't be surprised around here.
yeah.
Huh. Things are making a whole lot more sense now. Make him comfortable. Have him lean back in a comfortable chair. Suggest he lie down for a few minutes in the bedroom. Have a cool or warm drink ready for him. Arrange his pillow and offer to take his shoes. Speak to him in a low, soft, soothing, and pleasant voice. Allow him to relax and rewind.
I just want to throw up. Like,
Yeah, that's making me sick to my stomach.
Listen to him. You may have a dozen things to tell him, but the moment of his arrival is not the time. Let him speak first.
Well, in fairness, if I had to spend all day, every day at home catering to his every need and whim, I don't know that I'd have anything to say by the time he got home anyway. Because there's nothing to talk about at that point.
No wonder weren't like tons of housewives back in the day like on Valium or something. I mean, no wonder if they had to go through this.
That might be the one benefit of being a 1950s housewife.
Oh, the Valium,
The drugs.
right? I think maybe I could get through it if I had a ton of Valium. I don't know.
Make the evening his. He is special. Never complain that he does not take you out to dinner or other pleasant entertainment. Instead, try to understand his world of strain and pressure, his need to unwind and relax. Remember that you relaxed all day waiting for his return.
What?
Now it's his turn to enjoy what you enjoyed.
I thought I was supposed to do
I
the
thought I was
washing and the
cooking and
dishes and the
cleaning.
vacuuming and the dusting and taking care of the kids.
That's not real work.
How was I relaxing all day?
I don't know. I didn't write this before I was born.
Oof.
Not long, but
Oof.
God, we've come a long way.
Thank goodness. Still have a long way to go, though.
Yeah. I wonder if that's where. I wonder if that's where our president gets his view, because he grew up in that time.
You know what? There's kind of a gap. Like, I'm wondering, because, like, watching stuff about early women, and it seems like, when they had, back in the day, when they had all the brothels and stuff, and women were running their own show, and they were making all this money and everything, and they were independent, and they were starting schools back then and all that, with all the money that they made from prostitution. Then they make prostitution illegal, and then women have to go into this, where they can no longer be. I'm saying we gotta figure out a way to make prostitution legal again and give women.
Well, yeah, the Bunny Ranch up in Nevada.
I keep saying when I retire, dude, I want to organize. I want to help organize the prostitutes.
Prostitute union?
Yes, sex work is still work, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it seems like women had it better than they went like so many years back to being a housewife. I mean, what the hell?
It's all about keeping women in their place, making them dependent upon men. Because even if you're a prostitute, you're dependent upon men for your income.
True. But I think maybe men wanted to. I bet you anything it was men who made prostitution illegal. They probably were like getting sick and tired of paying for it. And then they're like, I want it for free. And I should have it for free because I'm a man. Just like those men that are complaining about all the hookers on the dating site and how they're not going to pay for it.
Well, it's within our lifetime. I forget when, but I think it was like the 80s or even in the 90s when the courts finally said that rape exists within a marriage. So,
Wow.
I want to say it was like in the early to mid 90s when, they finally said, no, just because someone is your wife or your husband doesn't mean you can't rape them.
Right.
It's pretty sick.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people don't understand that that's actually what happened with the whole Lorena Bobbitt, John Wayne Bobbitt incident.
Mm-hmm.
She got sick and tired of being raped. So,
Life lesson, men. Life lesson.
Well, anything else on this subject? We have come a long way, and I think we finally need a woman president.
we have come a long way, but until there are 9. All right? Until there are 9.
Oh, God. Well, it's good to have you on, Heather.
Thank you.
I thought this would be the perfect subject for you to come on about.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here. Hopefully you'll invite me back.
Yeah, it's been fun, and it's been
Yeah.
good to see you too.
Yeah.
Haven't seen you in forever.
I know, it's been too long.
We used to have Cards Against Humanity parties. Now we're all afraid to leave the house.
We'll get back someday. Bring on the vaccine.
Hey, I wonder if this whole list that we were going down, I wonder if like this stuff happens now because women are home all day. I wonder if the guys are like, hey, because a lot of people work from home now.
I'm sure it does.
Sounds like my life with 3 cats. I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean you are their servant. I mean, that's all you are.
It pretty much is, yeah.
You're not a cat owner. You're owned by cats.
Pretty much, yeah. I do spend my day making sure that they are fed, have fresh water, are cleaned up after.
Yeah, well, at least you don't have to rub their feet at night.
I don't have to, but they do, at least one of them is generally clamoring all over me, looking for attention. So, but I don't touch human feet, so, any men out there are out of luck.
And usually cats give you a massage with that hole. You know how they
The kneading?
do that? Yeah, I know. It's
Making
kind
the
of
biscuits.
annoying though. Yeah. Like my one old cat, Homie, he used to do that, and I was like, oh my, get off me, that hurts. It starts hurting because they do the same spot.
Yeah, my cats all have claws, so it hurts when they do it, but they don't do it to me often.
Oh, okay.
They'll do it to, the blanket or the pillow or whatever that they're trying to snuggle into.
Oh.
They don't do it to me often.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's going to wrap up our last episode before Christmas.
Well, we're probably going to be on break, right? Through the holidays?
I don't know. I mean, what else are we going to... Oh, you're going to be gone.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Because
No.
I just wanted to tell the listeners happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
I don't think anybody listens to this podcast will get offended by that.
Bring on
No.
2021.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. We're covering all
Hanukkah
of
just
it.
ended.
Oh, well, I hope you had a happy Hanukkah then.
Oh, and have you watched The Mandalorian this year?
I think I have like 2 episodes left, so
Oh
I
my
see
God.
everyone talking
Oh my
about
God,
the
last night's. Oh my God. Oh my
Really?
God.
Okay.
That's all I can say is,
on
oh my
deck for-
God.
It's on deck for tomorrow. Saturday morning is usually when I watch my favorite British soap.
When's it on? What is The Mandalorian on? Everybody keeps talking
Disney
about it.
Plus.
Disney
Oh,
Plus.
so I'm like, I should probably try watching it.
It's
Do
really
you have
good.
Disney Plus?
I think that I can use it because,
Oh.
I think it's available through my cell service. or
I'll hook
something
you up
like that.
soon.
I think it's like Verizon or someone. Someone
Yeah.
has Disney as part of their package.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, happy holidays, everybody, and we will talk to you soon. Okay?
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.